Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I figured I wanted to do some puzzles to warm up before my 7th run at a personal best of 62 correct puzzles. So we're going to do some survival on chess.com. Why survival? Well, because I don't like having to prove how fast I can move. I like thinking it through and taking my time if I want to. So I'm going to go step by step through these puzzles as quickly as possible, explaining along the way how I arrive at these conclusions. So I want to point out the back rank formation. When a king cannot get off of the back rank, we just go straight to it and we take all the stuff. If we have to take stuff along the way, I call that a back rank mower because we just kind of mow the grass. So here we can see that same formation again. And these lower puzzles usually have that kind of thing. So we're just going to go to the back rank over and over again. In the second set is usually just putting your queen right next to a king. In this case, this is called a swallowtail mate. This is blocked by a rook, and this is controlled by a rook. So we're just going to go ahead and checkmate, just like that. And then same idea, except this is called a dovetail because it's diagonal this time, from away from the queen. The diagonal check, that is. So this is a pinned piece. Bang. Pretty sure we can just take it. And then when the king moves away, I call that a back rank bump. See how we had two rooks attacking the back rank? So because of that, we're going to just put a rook there. Twice. Checkmate. Same back rank formation. Uh-oh. What are we doing? Yep. Okay. Well, that was going to be bishop here, checkmate, in case you didn't see that. So we are trying to move as quickly as possible. We are calling this a speed run. Doesn't necessarily have to be a speed run, but we're going to go here and here, right? That looks good to me. Let's go ahead and do that. And now we can take this mate. Yes, take that mate. Okay. I am trying to go through these just as a warm-up, trying not to think too hard about it. If I don't see it in about 30 seconds, I will just pick a move. So here I see that this is covered by the queen, this is covered by the white rook, this is available, and we have the back rank formation. So let's go ahead there and mow down the queen. Remember, that's called the back rank mower. So this pawn holds a rook, but my king attacks it. So if I could just get this pawn to move, we would be able to take the rook, and I'm pretty sure I can just go ahead and check. And that forces pawn take en passant, which hangs the rook. Now we just got to stop that pawn. Very easy. Okay, let's go here, probably, and then here, and then here, and then here. So this is kind of a pattern you got to know, but the way that you see this kind of thing is you just know the mating patterns with queen and rook, or queen and knight. So queen and rook would be on the side. And then queen and knight is usually a queen here and a knight here, or you can switch them. Knight and queen can be here sometimes. So we're just going to go like this. And I say that would be mate. Oh no, the pawn will take me. But then when the pawn does take me, it's a rook mate on the side. So two formations you got to know. Okay, this is attacked twice and defended once. So we're going to check. And it's not a back rank, but that's okay. When the king comes out, we will just slide behind this pawn. So we want a rook. And now how do I get out of this and keep all my material? I can't allow a queen with checkmate, so we're just going to go behind the pawn. That's 16 correct answers. By the way, the personal best is 62, but I don't think we're going to get there because I'm hustling. I'm going as fast as I possibly can. This is another knight formation that you got to know. Check. And then it controls these two light squares. So if we can ever sneak a queen in, it would be mate. So we're going to go like this. And then we're going to go like this. And what do you know? We snuck a queen in and it's mate. Formations with knights and queen next to the king are very important because the queen is a very big friend of the knight. Why? Well, because a knight controls squares like this, right? Well, if you notice, these are actually all on diagonals. So the queen can often just go here, 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 and stay on all those knight squares. No other piece can do that because it requires a diagonal move, a straight move, a diagonal move, a straight move, a diagonal move. So if a knight's here protecting her, then she can stay protected the entire way. Okay, what are we playing? White? We're white. So I want to go with this and check the king and then go here and then back rank mate. Probably. Well, there's this rook that's going to block and a queen that'll block. And if those don't mean anything, we just take that stuff and now it's the back rank mate. This is the back rank bump. You see how the king and the rook were controlling this square? And now when I checked on the 7th rank to push the king away, that's the bump. We can't take the rook because there's a queen there. That's why the queen is here in this puzzle. So we go here instead. Mate, back rank. Okay, Looks like we can go check and take and then push, maybe. Let's calculate that real quick. Check, take, because this is a hanging rook. On a fork, you have to look for if a piece is undefended and it gets forked. That's how you know that the capture is forced. And so it's a forced trade of rooks. So here, take, 6th rank, 7th rank, 7th rank, queen with check. So that's winning. It is a knight pawn. So if it were on the 7th and the king were closer and it were on one of these two squares, it would be a draw. But this square is not a draw. Gotta know your endgames. Queen ends that puzzle. Mate. That was an easy one. 20 puzzles. So I want to go queen here. Check, but I can't because there's a knight guarding it. So we're going to remove the knight. Now there is no more knight. And then I would take next move. Actually, it was almost going to be mate. So the rook would block and then I would take. So you got to just know your mating patterns. All right, what are we doing? We're forcing a trade of queens. So I can go like this. How do we force the trade? Do you remember how we forced the trade of rooks? We forked the undefended piece. So I'm going to go here. And black better take me or else I'm going to take their queen. And then once they take, I take back. And there's no way for this king to get here. The king would have to get inside this box. You do that by drawing this diagonal line, hitting the back rank. That's the box the king would have to get into, and he cannot. So check, give me your queen. And now, see how he's threatening to go in the box? This would be a mistake. And I almost played it just because I'm talking too much, but we want to move the box away, shrink the box, and move it here. And push the pawn. Now the box was here. He's threatening to come in again, so we shrink it, and then we just keep doing that. Okay. How about check, block with a rook, and then here. And then he goes here, and then we go here. So this is attacked, defended once. So if I can just get the queen maneuvered onto it, it's a good attack. So we're probably going to go here. And if the queen blocks, we can actually go check, king forced to move. And then we can take this, I think. Or do we just go check here first? Check, rook, queen, queen back. And then the rook comes here. Or can I just go rook now? Okay, so 3 moves here, here, or here. Always be calculating. That's how you solve these puzzles. I can sit here and just think about stuff all day or explain it and not make any progress. Faster just to calculate what happens if we go to these squares. Some people are fast at this because their pattern just, they guess the right one. In this particular one, I don't know which one is correct. It's probably one of those 3. So I just have to start calculating. Let's start with the check. That is a capture check. King probably takes back. And then I can go here. And the queen can't block now, and that's the big advantage. So then here, and I'm not checkmating him. So that's wrong, because I'd be down a rook, and I'm not checkmating. So here, what if rook blocks? Then I go here, and then queen blocks, and then I go here, and the queen blocks again, and this doesn't seem to be leading anywhere, because I can't go back anymore. So there's no more checks. This is blocked, of course, so it's probably here. And that makes sense. Here, queen, rook takes this, and this is checking off. If the king takes my rook, then I take the queen, because it would then be undefended. So what I'm looking at is here, 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 and not giving up the queen, but king here. And now my question is, how do I proceed from there? I'll probably check back here. That guards the rook, maybe? Interesting one. So that's actually just a skewer, right? I can just take the queen? I think so. Any other moves? This. Then here, check takes the rook. Okay, so that does work. Here, here, this is a fork of king and rook. So that would win a rook, and then check, and then here, and we already said why the king can't take, so the king goes here, and then I actually just take the queen anyway, because it's a skewer. All right, that makes sense. I wasn't as, okay, yeah. It wasn't as hard as I was making out to be. All right, so that's going to be a fork here. Check on the back rank, because it's a forced move. And now, undefended piece. You got to see the undefended piece. Take that. Now we're up a rook. Okay, that's 24. And I'm usually good until about 30. Then I have to start thinking. Or in that last one, like calculating. I just picked the wrong ones. Trying to be disciplined. I felt like it was going to be this check, but instead I figured I had to be disciplined and do the check plus capture first. So anyway, you're supposed to do that. This move hangs this pawn. So it's probably going to be queen in. you typically, oh, there's also this check. Okay, great. Now I have to think. If I go here, probably rook blocks, and I don't have anything. So it's probably this. Now, I was always amused by this when teachers would say, oh, you just go here, 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 and you don't have anything further. And I'm like, how do you know you don't have anything further? And the answer is always practice. You just have to do these yourself, then you'll know it. So I'm going to go, but here's a little tip that I love. I've never heard anybody else say this. I came up with this myself, and it served me well. When you're going after a king like this or on the attack, start with the piece farthest away. Because if you do that, I'll have a queen and rook here and here, very close to the king. If I go in with a rook, I only have a rook attacking the king, not as powerful. So I probably want to bring the farthest piece in first to make the check. That way I have two pieces attacking the king. So anyway, check, king here. That is the swallowtail mate. We already discussed that. This is blocked, this is blocked. And if instead here, this just mate in one, and this and everything else is mate in one as well. This is a very powerful square for a queen to go when she's mating a king. If you can go here, let's just pretend there's a black piece here, a black piece here. It doesn't matter where the king is. Any of these squares would be checkmate if the queen were right here. So very important. Remember earlier we tried to worm our queen around to go here and here, and it was mate with the knight protecting in an earlier puzzle. See, patterns repeat. Okay, I can take this bishop and then checkmate in the back. So therefore, he's not going to... He's just going to let me have a free bishop. He can't be recaptured, I don't think. And I can't be checked. My king is safe. You usually want to look at your own side of the board too and see, are you in danger? No, I'm not. And we have even material. It's 2 bishops each. So if I just take this, it's a free bishop. Oh, you're going to let me mate you? Why? Oh, I see. Okay, I didn't see the rook hanging at the end. I thought it was mate. It's not. Okay, here, 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 or something like that. No, it's, yeah, okay, I got it. This queen is protected. This one is not. So the calculation goes like this, this, this. Take my queen, I take your queen, you move, and then I take the rook back, and I have an extra bishop. What I'm actually doing is cashing in this knight. Watch this. So we go like this. Okay, I need to get a rook back. I took a knight, and I lost a rook. So as long as I get the rook back, then I won material. I'll be up that knight. So let's take a pawn. Oh no, I lost a queen. Well, that's fine. I get a queen. What did I tell you I needed to do? Take a rook back, right? Okay. 27. We're moving a little slower, but I'm enjoying explaining stuff. So check, pawn, and then do I take this or do I go here? I actually take the pawn. Right? This is mate? No, because there's a rook here, and then I take that. And that's mate. So looks good. I bet you a lot of people take the knight, and that's why this puzzle is the medium range. Look, when you're in the 1500s like that in puzzles, you have to just look for the better move. That's the trick. Look for the better move. A lot of people would take the knight and then get it wrong, and then they're like, boo-hoo. And then they claim they would have got it. All right, looks like we're trading off into a winning endgame. So I'm just going to trade everything. It's a fork. It's a skewer. You're outside the square. I take your pawn. I take the pawn and queen. It's a shame they don't make you play that stuff out, but the reason is there's more than one way to win. So that's hanging. That's under attack. That's hanging, and this is hanging. So what I see is this rook is overworked, guarding 2 things. This bishop is overworked, so it looks like that hangs at the end of the puzzle. So this rook is guarded twice. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make this rook do one of the 2 jobs. And then I am going to take the other piece. So the question is, do I go here? I don't think so, because then I just lose a queen, right? Yes. Okay. I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to do my first instinct, which was take the queen. Typically, it's the most forcing because now you have to take a queen back. And then I'm going to take this piece. No, because then you trade the rook, actually. So I X-ray you. Okay, I'm going to take the queen, and then I'm going to take the rook. And I don't win the rook, I win the bishop. I'll show you. And now I don't take the bishop because you take my rook, so I take your rook. And it's check. And that's the reason this works. Also, a rook is worth more than a bishop. So now I just win the bishop. Game. Cool. All right, that's hanging. Can we fork it somehow? This is hanging. It looks like this is just a simple fork. I found that just by looking for undefended pieces, which are these. So these are my targets. And so I'm just going to go ahead and fork. And that's the end of that one. That was an easy one. That is my 31. So this is usually the point I have to think a little bit more. Hey, do you remember that knight check pattern from earlier? You put the queen next to the king, and then you move the knight in, then you move the queen in. Because like I said, she can dance on all of his squares. So now we don't take the bishop. We actually go for mate, as long as this is mate, looking around the board, making sure there's nothing attacking me. Yep, mate. Said it before, I'll say it again. If you think you have mate, take your time and look, because you won't have to make another move after that. Just take your time. You don't have to like click fast. You don't have to rush the move. I think I have mate here. So it's going to be check, and then the king goes here. But then what do I have? Maybe I slide the other rook in first. Okay, I did promise you this is a speed run where you're going to move very quickly. So I think it is just take here. And then I will figure out why afterward. Okay, I do think it's queen in, but it might be rook check first, then queen in. So if I go queen in, check, and then the king moves here, and then I go check, and I can pick up a rook, and that's good. And it's with check. Okay, I agree. Oh, looks like mate right away. But what do we do? Do we just play mate? No. Yes. We look at it, is the joke. Look at it first. All right, looks like a comebacker. Do I go here and then come back? Or do I go here and it's a fork? It's there and it's a fork, right? One of the two. Here, here, here. And then I'm up a piece. You can take my bishop, but I'll guard it. So I'm going to take a piece. And they're going to take a piece thinking they get out of it, but I actually guard my own knight with this move. So wins a piece. Basically, I get to keep the piece. Okay, this is called the 4th rank, 5th rank weakness. This undefended. Don't do this. Ow. That's why the pawn is there. I was just about to point this out. The pawn, I'm attacking the bishop. So the knight is usually here. Anytime a knight can't go there, you're in danger. So I'm just going to go ahead and take that. And then I'm going to take that. Yep. And there you go. So anytime you see these hanging pieces on the 4th and 5th rank in the opening, it's like a queen fork on the side every time. Right, looks like I get a check, and then bam, 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 bam is all controlled. So you'd have to go back to here, and then I go check, and it's a, what? Swallowtail mate. Correct. Check. Here, then. Now what? Check on the weakness. You go here, and that's mate. Bang. Bang. Swallowtail mate. Cool. Had fun with that one. All right. We can't move this, and I'm threatened with mate. So everything I have to do has to come with check. So it's going to be check, and then what? Here, and then rook check. And then here, and then I take your rook. That's pretty cool. No. Check here, check. And then I come, yeah, okay, sorry, I just highlighted the wrong square. It was correct. Because then the queen will take the bishop and I'll take the queen, and then we're winning. So check, and of course you just take it. So then I go check. Now where? I skewer you to this square, and we already talked about this, the power of this square, right? Checks a king all over the place. So half of these would be mate. So I guess I should do this. These would not be a mate usually, but so let's sack our rook. Let's go ahead and check. Let's skewer to that square. Yes. Yes. I can't take the bishop because I'll get mated. So I probably go here and then take the bishop with check. This pops the king off the rank. So any capture is check. Okay. It was fun. 38, and we are at 19 minutes. Okay, I'm going to go a half hour, I think. Half hour on the clock. There's no rule about it, but I like to do a half hour of just simple warm-up. So it looks like I can go check, and then this is forced. And then do I have a mate somehow? No. So basically I want to make sure that the queen can't go there. Huh. How do I do that? I go here, and then you can't guard that square? I think it is. I think I go here, and then the queen cannot guard this because it can't go here or here or here. So none of those squares work, and then the other knight goes bang. and it's checkmate. So what's going to happen is I'll win the queen instead. No. Okay, that's a 2000 level puzzle. Got it wrong. Hanging? Problemo? Check. King? Check again. Goes back. Okay, that was easy. Looks like I run my passer. What's the issue to that? Run the passer. Oh, I moved too quick. I had to push the other pawn. And that's a speedrun mistake, everybody. Speedrunning is how you end up with those errors. That's 2 in a row, 2200. I maybe should take a little bit of time. I do want to get to 40 without failing out. So just to prove the point real quick, I'm putting a little pause on the timer here. And then it's actually because if I go here, he steps in to the square, you got to go here. Yeah. And now you're one file over to the left. So now you just go like that. Okay, that's how you do it. Anyway. Looks like it's just a target. In the opening, the other thing, not only do you want to look for hanging pieces here, which this is, but in the opening, rooks hang in the corners. They're usually undefended. This one happens to be defended now and after castling, but looks like that's just going to be a clean fork. Material's even, so a piece is good enough. Just keep the piece. Who cares? Get it? Keep the piece? Yep. 2200 level puzzle. No issues with that. That's a blitz. So it looks like we can just take twice, no? Blitz. Take. Hold the piece. Probably. Oh, what's the difference? Why do I care? Why do I care which one it is? If I go here, I'm just up a piece. You go like this or something? What's the difference? Why is one work? Oh, it goes like this and it severs the connection between the queen. Okay, so I got to go close to the bishop so that you can't split me with the pawn. No. Okay, what's the answer? Huh, I'm kind of surprised at that one. Is it here? Okay, that's also wrong, so that's not it. So what am I doing wrong? I go back. Wonder why. I don't immediately see it. Maybe I just get chased around. And then after this, this is, well, we know why this is wrong. Push the pawn, and now note the two pieces are hanging. And it's just an even position, so I got to go here. And this fails because also d5, so what? And why can't I just go back to like, I don't even care. Here, what's the problem with this? Aha. That's why. Okay. So that's why I have to go all the way back so that this skewer can't happen. All right, fair enough. That's the one I actually should have missed for not seeing the idea. And let's check out this other one I missed. Uh-huh. And so the answer, is it this? No, we didn't think it was. We didn't think that was the answer. Oh, I double attack. No, I don't. There's a bishop there. Do I really just go like this? That's not it. I don't think it's that either. Okay, in the game we played this, and I still don't see why that's wrong. So maybe I want to check here or something. What is it? If I take here, how can this be wrong? You have to guard this square, don't you? So what is it? I don't think, no, of course not. That's silly, and it's not going to be this one either. Huh? What am I missing? It's not rook up and over. Can you give me a hint? It is that knight. We tried this. We tried this. So I go here because you can't take it, and it hits this square. Cool. Sure. Take, take, take. Huh. See, this is the reason I thought it was knight here to attack the queen. Okay, give me another one. Yeah, sure. Now I play to the back rank. Beautiful formation. I missed this idea of the rook coming. I kind of saw that it could, but I didn't think it would work or do anything. For two reasons. There was a queen and rook guarding that square, but also because the bishop could come back. So I just figured it wasn't it. And it was it. In the end, it's a deflection of the queen. So why does my move not work? Yeah, let's go here. What's your defense? Bishop f8. Of course, I'm missing my own queen. Attacking a queen doesn't matter. I'm missing my own queen. I'm down a queen. That's why. Okay, I missed that. I broke my own rule. The first thing you always do is count material. Okay, 25 minutes though. We got through 40. Not real pleased with this one. This was just moving too quickly, but now we know we go here and here. So fortunately, not the best score, but I still had fun and I hope you had fun. So I will love to see you back for season 7 or the next speed run.